No couch video this time. Computer, green screen. We're gonna look at Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. It's freaking Twitter, okay? Because it can be pretty entertaining. Now odds are we're gonna run across the cat. Man, he has to be in my lap when I'm at the computer. It's like his whole thing. So odds are we're going to, at some point in my feed, I don't know why this is, but it's constant, we're going to run across George Takei. If you don't know who George Takei is, he played Sulu in the original Star Trek series and the movies. He is a complete moron. All right. I don't know why he's always in my Twitter feed. I don't follow him. I mean, I have, responded, commented before, and I guess that's probably why it keeps putting his stupid tweets, because his tweets are unnecessarily stupid. Okay, I mean, this guy is like far left, drink the Kool-Aid, gone all the way down like the rabbit hole of the left, the worst. Okay, so we'll probably run across a couple of his tweets. I've stopped responding to him because it's almost like he wants people to respond. I don't know, like farming engagement, if that's a thing on Twitter, whatever. Just letting you know ahead of time, when you see George Takei, which you probably will, he's an idiot. Which sucks, man, because Sulu was my favorite character from the original Star Trek series. He's a consummate professional. I mean, he was always calm, cool, collected. And then he went on to become the captain of the Excelsior. I mean, I was always a fan of his character. I thought he was pretty cool until he opened his stupid mouth. Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, he just has said too many stupid things. Anyway, that's an aside. Like, it's not what we're here for, but Sulu does suck. Anyway, breaking news. Mayor Adams' plan is to give illegals $10,000 each with no ID check required, no fraud control, and no restrictions. That's the New York mayor, by the way. We've seen him on TV, right? Like, whining and complaining about all the illegal aliens that he has to take care of. Well, you gonna give them 10 grand each, man. 10 grand. Doesn't check their ID. No restrictions. UMS 13, cool, here's 10K. I mean, no restrictions. No fraud control. Hey, maybe that means some of them can get 20 grand or 30 grand, stand in line, I guess. Come back into the same line, or go to a different line. Done by mail? That's even worse. Just put a different address and a slightly different name on there. Man, you could farm like 50K out of this thing easy. I mean, I would like 10 grand. Paid taxes since I was 16. I've worked since I was 16. Government's never just up and gave me 10 grand. Not even when I signed on to the military did they give me 10 grand. Yeah, I've worked for county, state, and federal. But I guess when you're a border jumper and you can just get 10 grand like that, that's cute. I don't know. What else have we got here? Twitter is a freaking blast, man. Most of your platforms, right? Like, they'll tailor content to what you usually watch, that kind of thing. Yeah, Twitter doesn't really do that. That's what makes it so kind of fun, I guess, because you get to see like a lot of the stupidity from the other side. Like, you get to see the other side in all their glory, like mask off. Just like the thing with George Takei, right? Like, I don't follow that guy. I've insulted him many times, honestly, and still shows me his stuff.
Like, what inspired you to become the president of the U.S.?
Well, my mom and dad thought you had an obligation. Not you didn't have to run for office, but you had an obligation to change things that you saw that you thought was unfair.
I think I've seen that before somewhere, and it was a while back. So I guess they're dragging this back up for obvious reasons, right? Of course, it had to be two black kids, because it had to be. It's so forced when they do this kind of stuff. You really get sick of it. I couldn't care less, right? Like, I was raised in the time when you judge somebody on their merit, not on the color of their skin. And now that America has gone full-blown racist, just like this scumbag here, President Sock Puppet in Chief, like, it makes me ill. The pandering. I mean, it's still racism, okay? It's still the same thing. Racism is just judging somebody based on the color of their skin. Their race, in other words. Just a generalization being acted upon based on race. And when you look at a video like this and the stuff that the left says, you can't help but see it. I mean, it's right there. It's freaking forced, man. There has to be one black guy in a commercial, right? One black guy, one black girl at all times. A black guy on the team in the movies, you know, there's always a token. And that's what they are to these people. That's what you are. If you're watching this and you're black, you are a token to the left. They expect you to support them based on your race. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Who said that? That's a direct quote. Oh, that'd be this guy. Because all black people vote for Democrats, right? That's how they see you. And that's what they're thinking. It's just a general assumption. I mean, racism can be telling you that you're the victim constantly. You know, you and everybody that looks like you, right? Like you're all victims. Oh, really? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be just called a victim just based on my immutable characteristics. I'd like to think I'm a little bit stronger than that, a little bit more independent. For instance, here's an example. Toxic masculinity. You've heard it. I'm sure you've heard it. A white guy, my age, people will say, well, man, poor white guys, you know, you can't get a leg up. Oh, I don't consider myself a victim of anyone because I know the difference between right and wrong, and I make my own choices and my own decisions. You can call it whatever you want. I call it freedom. And you try to victimize me, you're going to find out pretty quick that I'm not a victim. So don't cry for me. And you probably shouldn't cry for yourself either. It's full on racism. And this is no stranger to the Democrats. They are the racist of history. You see a rebel flag, man. That's the Democrat symbol. That was their whole freaking nation. The idea that there was some kind of big flip. Yeah, that's bullshit. You can go back and look this up. I mean, I would encourage you to. It all boils down to money in the end. You know, I mean, they put their idealism up and all that stuff. And stupid people out there, like if there are any leftists watching this that vote for them, you fall for it because you're a useful idiot. But what it boils down to is money and power. And power gets you money, so really just money. Jimmy Kimmel hints he's exiting the late night. I didn't even know that dude was still alive. That's cute. Whoa.
The woman who runs the bullying internet account Libs of TikTok was given a spot on the Oklahoma Library Board, the statewide board. She is not from Oklahoma. The reason I bring this up is because these gestures, these far-right attacks, these elevations of anti-trans folks have deadly consequences. I'm sure you've heard by now the story of the non-binary student in that state who was bullied to death. Please find a non-binary person and show them respect.
I don't know what the that's supposed to be. Okay, it's got on a dress. Its head is shaved around, long hair on the top, lipstick, eye makeup, and a freaking beard. His name is Jeffrey Marsh. This was posted by Libs at TikTok, and he claims a teen died in Oklahoma because she was appointed to the Library Advisory Committee. Yep, I'm sure that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? I don't know how you connect the dots, but then again, we can't be too surprised about this because connecting very, very different dots is, I mean, look at the thing's face. Look at it. Like, why ask why? Nothing about this thing makes sense. It's not illegal, although, you know, I would definitely look to probably check their hard drive. My point is, don't ask it to make too much sense because, you know, look at it. It's not illegal, nor should it be, right? Like that's kind of my thing with the whole gay, whatever you want to be, man, whatever. Now, one of the things that I get really upset about and kind of sick of hearing are the conservative commentators that, well, it's cool with me, it doesn't bother me, you can be. I know what they're trying to say, okay? I know. But I'm not cool with it. Like, I'm not cool with anything about this. Like, I'm not okay with that. Should it be outlawed? Illegal? Of course not. You're free to yourself up if you want to. It should always be free to do whatever this is called. Transmutation. You're free to do it. I'm free to find it disgusting, which I do. Okay? I just do. Same thing with gay people. Should it be illegal to be gay? Of course not. I'll fight to my dying breath to make sure that you can be gay. Am I cool with it? No, man, it's freaking disgusting. But you know what? It's America, baby. And guess what? I'm free to think that. Because where are we at again? America? See, that's the cool thing about freedom. You're free to do whatever you want to do, and I'm free to laugh at you for it, or I'm free to disapprove of what you're doing. See, how hard was that? We don't all have to be cool with it. You can have an opinion, man. All the conservative commentators out there that are so afraid to come down on the wrong side to say that it offends them. Yes, this offends me. It's still legal, and it should be, because it's America. The other side of the freedom coin, it's responsibility, because you're free to succeed. You're also free to fail. I would call this failing. I mean, people can tell you, don't make that mistake, right? Like, people can tell you, hey, don't do this. It's going to result in failure. And then you go ahead and do it anyway. Well, guess what? You're free to do that. You're free to make the mistake. That's what ultimate freedom is. It's not just all unicorns and rainbows, man. Freedom's a huge responsibility, too. And when you make a mistake, the way freedom is supposed to work is there should not be a safety net, unless it's one that you put there. But as far as one from society where everybody was telling you don't make that mistake, and then you go ahead and say, well, screw you guys, I'm going to do what I want. All right, man, that's on you. We're not going to pick up the pieces for you. We told you, free to succeed, free to fail. I'm free to dislike whatever that is supposed to be. I really don't know what that is trying to be. It's probably male trying to be female, whatever. I don't know. It's disgusting. That's all I know. Whatever, you do you, pumpkin. Oh, and this is another side of Twitter, okay? I call it farming engagement. I don't know if that's like a term, an actual term. That's just what I call it. It may actually be the term for it. If someone shouts out, Allahu Akbar, what's your first reaction? They're trying to farm comments, right? They're just trying to get you to engage with their posts, so in hopes that it goes viral. It's a thing. It's just part of Twitter. I don't know. Have fun. I don't really get down with that. Like, you're just farming engagement, bro. It's not like a real conversation or anything. Kevin Sorbo is a dude I like. Normal disclaimer, I don't know the guy personally. He played Hercules, the TV show Hercules. Why should I pay taxes when it all goes to illegals? Abolish income tax. Yeah, 100% agree. Abolish income tax. It was never supposed to be one in the first place. There was not supposed to be an IRS. Oh, Letitia James tells ABC News she's prepared to seize Trump's buildings if he can't pay his fine. I mean, you can probably imagine where I land on this. Blatant disregard for everything the justice system is supposed to stand for. It's pretty much worst case scenario being played out right in front of our eyes. Even what was it, Kathy Hochul, the governor of the state of New York, there were business owners, business people in New York that were really worried about the precedent this was gonna set, because they all do this, overvaluing property to get loans. Now, if you fraud somebody and you don't pay the money back, that's one thing, right? Like, that's fraud. There are laws against fraud. Yeah, he didn't commit any fraud. He was just doing normal business, just like everybody else does. So when the governor came on TV and told people, don't leave, don't run, it's just for Trump. Well, what does that tell you? If you ever looked at a picture of Lady Justice, there's a blindfold over her eyes. That's because Justice is blind. Doesn't care who you are. It's just justice. It's supposed to be neutral. So are judges, by the way. The piece of walking and breathing garbage that, what's his name? Gargano, I don't know. He looks like a freaking troll. He's the one who ruled on this. And, he's everything that the justice system is supposed to not be. That's what he is. So, total scumbag. But what else is new? Yeah, this whole Nikki Haley thing, I do follow Vivek Ramaswamy. When I heard that he was going to eliminate 70% of the United States government, you got my vote. He says Nikki didn't even try to collect any delegates in Nevada, and now she'll get 0 from South Carolina, yet her anti-Trump mega donor money is still flowing. Isn't that strange? Don't you guys think it's strange that she's still in the race? Yeah, it's right there, man. She got donors from both sides. She's being propped up by the deep state. I mean, it's the 100%, okay? This is no conspiracy theory, because that's what she is. Career deep state, man. She was on TV the other night crying, giving a speech, crying about her husband that's deployed overseas. All right, he's in the Horn of Africa, okay? She's up there crying about it, though. How many times did she cheat on him again? I didn't bother to count because it was multiple, so didn't really see the point in counting. Nikki Haley is trash. She's garbage. Good Lord. I have a question. With all the people literally committing treason in our country, from attorneys, DA, AG, FBI, CIA, do you think Americans have the stomach for public hangings? Well, you got to try them first. Pretty dark, and that's archaic. Just get a wall, okay? Get a concrete wall. You can double layer the concrete wall, or a berm will do. Anything that can stop high-speed projectiles. 7.2 million illegals entered the U.S. under Biden admin, an amount greater than population of 36 states. I thought it was 38. Depending on which states you add. I mean, that's a lot. We all know that, it's not really the Biden administration. It's just the administration, right? It's the regime, the deep state. It's not Biden, sock puppet. He's not, he's not doing anything.
We're walking this. Win re-election. He's gonna win re-election anyway.
Look at his face, though. Look at his face when she asked. Oh, God, there's that thing. I'm an expert on mental health and food disorders, says the obese man who thinks he's a woman. You know what? It is an expert. What is it, like an admiral of something? Some stupid doctor, admiral rank or some organization. I don't even remember. Meghan McCain called Senate candidate Kari Lake a bitch after Lake offered her an olive. Why would you? No peace, bitch, McCain responded after Lake wrote on X, "Hi, Meghan. I know we both agree that our children's future is too important to let it slip away over past grudges. We are all Americans." I like Kari Lake, all right? Why? Why are you going to try to make peace with these people? She's a McCain. Like, what are you doing, Lake? This is the enemy, and trying to make peace with them, like, while they're waging full-blown war against you, okay? I mean, they might have stolen an election from you. They certainly tried to bribe you. You can't make peace with that. What are you doing, man? Like, don't just stop. Don't do that. What'd you think was gonna happen? There are no magical combination of words that are gonna make it okay and change who these people are. Lake, you know that. Sometimes she does this kind of stuff, and it's like, what are you doing? I don't know. There's a part of me, of course, that doesn't trust her. I don't know. I got a funny feeling about her. And then, like, there was also the thing where they tried to bribe her, and she released the recording of it. You know what I mean? Like, it took her a year to release that. Yeah, I'm not cool with that. You have a duty to bring light to truth, right? Like, to tell us who these people are. Like, wait, how you gonna sit on that for a year, man? She said she forgot about it or whatever. I don't know. You expect us to just look over that part of it and just only look at, oh, look, the damning evidence. Well, you had it for a year. So, got some questions about that. When crime happens, you don't sit on the evidence or the effect of the crime and bring it out when it only suits you, or what? Where's the other part of that story? Here's the thing, right? Like, she can say whatever she wants to say. She can say she forgot about it, forgot about the conversation. I think I literally heard her say that in an interview. Like, well, it just slipped my mind for a year. She could make any excuse she wants to, okay? But the fact remains, you still sat on it. It gives me pause. I don't know. We've seen too many times. What in the freak is this? What is this? Hold up. We need sound. Well, if that's the new normal, have fun with that. You can be whatever you want to be, man. I'm free to think whatever I want to think. And I think we all know what I'm thinking here because you were thinking it too. You were. I'm almost done here. I don't see any Takai. Okay, we're going to search for Takai. I brought it up, right? Like, I made it a thing. So I got to give you at least one Takai. This guy's certified stupid. Here we go. On this day, 82 years ago, 19 February, 42, Roosevelt, in the height of insanity. You know what? Which party was Roosevelt again? Does anybody want to take a guess? What's that say? Does that say Republican? Nah, it doesn't. Okay, carry on. Sulu. It ordered all Japanese Americans on the West Coast to be summarily rounded up. Blah, blah. Okay, he's talking about the really crazy thing they did during World War II, right? Like, where they sent a lot of Japanese, like, families and naturalized Japanese, like, American citizens to these camps because they were worried about, like, espionage or something. It was a whole thing after Pearl Harbor. My father gave my brother Henry and me 2 heavy suitcases. Who did this to you, George? Who did this? We brought him out into the driveway, waited for our mother to come out. She did. She had our baby sister in one arm, huge duffel bag in the other. And one morning, that is seared into my memory. I will never be able to forget. All the innocent people, my family included, had nothing to do with Pearl Harbor. I'm tracking. Yeah, it was terrible. Especially when they're American citizens, it's freaking illegal. It's racism. Again, you're locking people up, man. They're American citizens, and you're locking them up based on what? Based on what? Based on their skin color, what they look like? Democratic Party, folks. What was I just saying earlier? Something about that? Yeah. Today, I hear terrifying words from political leaders that once more raise the specter of what happened before right here in America. Donald Trump and his allies are talking about rounding up 11 million people and putting them into mass detention camps before deporting them. George, it's just like it, George, right? Like, it's just exactly like what happened 82 years ago, isn't it? Never mind, there's like all different kinds of ethnicities, nationalities, and races pouring across the border. I mean, what? Like, there's freaking Georgians, there's Chinese, Ecuadorians, Africans, Syrians. That's a little bit different, right, than locking up all Japanese people. Number two, they aren't citizens, George. He sees that as exactly the same thing as deporting criminals. Classic George, man. That's what I like to see. I like consistency. You freaking moron, man. He's not special. This is Hollywood, baby. This is what they do. It's gotten so bad, man. I can't even watch movies anymore because I know who these people are now that we've heard them open their stupid mouths. I mean, this is typical. This is normal for him, man. This is actually light. Like, he actually made some good points in the beginning. How, you know, the internment camps in the World War II, that was bad. It was real bad. It was horribly illegal. Once again, done by the Democrats because they are racist. Okay, their policies are racist. He can make some good points every now and then, but he will always, at the end, manage to land on the wrong side because he is stupid beyond belief. Anyway, I had to give you at least one Takai take because they're gold, man. That's good stuff. All right, yeah. Have a good one. Sulu sucks.